Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Red Eyes Ritual Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. I've been wanting to make a ritual deck that focuses on Red Eyes Black Dragon's various ritual monsters, and finally came up with a pretty fun build that focuses on using all the support we have for Red Eyes Black Dragon, along with the two ritual monsters that we have for the deck as well, one being a level 4 monster, and the other one being the level 8 monster you see here. Just the setup being pretty generic ritual monsters makes for some easy search power in the deck as a whole, but I found just actually using the special summon power of Red Eyes Black Dragon is a lot more consistent than trying to implement, some of the incantation monsters, which would lock you out of your extra deck plays to get these monsters out. It's definitely much more worth it just to use the different Red Eyes monsters we have in the deck to summon out these ritual monsters. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So starting off with the ritual monsters, I'm running 2 copies of Lord of Red. I don't really want to run 3 of this card. It is a pretty difficult card to get since Red Eyes Black Dragon is a level 7 monster and Lord of Red is a level 8 monster. So you still have the plays to get out, because with your card you use being the Red Eyes Transmigration, use this card to ritual summon Lord of Red and also tribute monsters from your hand or field, or banish for Red Eyes monsters from your graveyard. So with that, you have the option of equaling 8 or more, and being able to banish them from your graveyard at least gives you those resources to use later on with this ritual monster. And with this card, once per turn during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated except Lord of Red, you can target one monster on the field, destroy it, and once per turn during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated except for Lord of Red, you can target one spell or trap on the field and destroy it. So the big thing that comes behind this ritual monster is just pure destruction. You have this thing having the same stats as Red Eyes Black Dragon, but being a little bit stronger in the defense category, but also just being able to hit very, very hard whenever you try and have your opponent activate a card effect, destroying their spell and traps, or even just one other monster on the field. I only run 2 though. Like I said, it can be searched out with some other cards we run in the deck, and we do have one other ritual monster that we run in the deck, which is Paladin of Dark Dragon. I would say it's a mirror to the Blue Eyes level 4 ritual monster. You can ritual summon this card with Dark Dragon Ritual, and with this card at the start of damage step, if it attacks a defense monster, destroy that monster, and you contribute this card to special summon one Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck, and you can only use this effect of Paladin of Dark Dragon once per turn. So you have more of the setup thanks to this ritual monster being able to stop all your opponent's defense monsters pretty easily with this card, and with it being a level 4 monster, it's a little easier to ritual summon out with Lord of Red. But once again, I didn't go too hard on all the different ritual monsters. It would really mix up and clutter with some of the other Red Eyes monsters that we have in the deck, and with the search power, I feel this is really all you need. So just the one Paladin of Dark Dragon is just fine for me. It gives you a special summon option, but then you also have the recycle power for the one ritual spell, which is Dark Dragon Ritual, which we'll get to when we go over the spell cards. For the Red Eyes monsters, I am running 3 Red Eyes Black Dragon, just for more special summon power depending on how you want to summon out this card. Whether you use Red Eyes Spirit to summon it back from the graveyard, the best thing about it is that Lord of Red can still use it as a banish from the graveyard, so the quicker you set up your Red Eyes cards in your graveyard, the faster you can use them for your plays, whether you use it for a ritual summon with cards like Red Eyes Fusion, or even cards like Red Eyes Insight, setting them up in your graveyard, then being able to add the different spells you may need for the additional plays, but also just the graveyard setup for your Red Eyes rituals. And I also run the 1 Dark Magician. I am running the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon package. The fusions just really do help in the deck as a whole, and it will be much easier to get, I hope, at least Red Eyes Dark Dragoon with the release of the 2022 Megatins. So people will hopefully be using Dragoon a little more in their Red Eyes builds. Definitely the deck I would say it belongs in the most, instead of just generic staple setup in many other decks, but just the 1 Dark Magician for that play. And moving on now to the effect monsters for the main deck, I run 3 Blackstone Legend, tributing it to special summon 1 level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck, except for Red Eyes Black Chick. What I like about the tribute with this card as well, for the option of setup for your Red Eyes monster, gives you that play for that level 7 monster, which you can then just quickly send to the graveyard to use for the banish cost as well for your monster. If you have an additional level 1 Blackstone Legend on the field and your Red Eyes monsters in the graveyard, that can be the needed cards alone for you to ritual ritual summon out your Lord of Red using the monster on the field for ritual summoning it out and tributing monsters from your hand or field, or banishing Red Eyes monsters. So if Red Eyes is in the graveyard and you have Blackstone of Legend in your hand or even on the field, you have the play right there to summon out that card. Another level 1 monster to use pretty well with that play is your Black Metal Dragon. Most of the time you do just want to equip it on to your Red Eyes monster. Lord of Red is not a Red Eyes monster. It may be Red Eyes, armor on this monster, but it's more of a ritual monster on its own, just having some of the Red Eyes qualities. So you won't be able to equip Black Metal Dragon onto it, but still another level 1 monster, because the ritual adjustment is pretty important. So as long as you have these level 1 monsters and the level 7 Red Eyes monster in your graveyard or field, that's the play for the ritual right there. I also run 2 Red Eyes Baby Dragon, so you have more special summon power when it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard to special summon a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck. And if you do equip this card from your graveyard to it, and it gains 300 attack, and if it's sent to the graveyard while equipped, you can add 1 level 1 dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, giving you more search for your Black Metal Dragon and also your Blackstone of Legend, depending on which one you may need for that ritual. And I also run 2 Gearfried, the Red Eyes Iron Knight. I do, along with the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, also run Red Eyes Slash Dragon. So the needed fusion material for summoning out that card being your Red Eyes Iron Knight Gearfried, because you need a warrior monster to summon that out, and then you can just send it and Red Eyes to the graveyard with your Red Eyes fusion. I also run 2 Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon, more of the destruction power, being able to target a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in graveyard, except for Red Eyes Alternative, and special summon it with this card, giving you the 2 monsters needed once again for either an Xyz play or the Tribute, since the main focus of the deck is the ritual play. The best thing about Paladin of Dark Dragon is a level 4 monster, and you don't have to have exactly level 4, so even just 1 of the Red Eyes monsters will be enough to ritual summon that card out onto the field. So being able to give you Alternative Black Dragon as a special summon for your other Red Eyes monster, and then just have that monster on the field, along with this card being able to be the cost for the ritual play. For more monster summoning on the field, I also run 3 Noctovision Dragon. When your opponent activates a card effect that targets a face-down monster you control, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the effects of that card. If a Dark Dragon monster is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as link material, you can draw 1 card. So the Dark monster can be your Paladin of Dark Dragon. Just with this play for the Dark Dragon monster for the special summon, it gives you that extra resource on the field to use. Remember, Lord of Red is also a fire monster, so when you summon out this card, you won't be able to summon out Noctovision Dragon, but you will be able just to use this card as that resource when you summon any of your other monsters, being your Red Eyes Black Dragon, onto the field. If you didn't want to run Noctovision, you can always try Manju of the 10,000 Hands. It's another ritual search in the deck. It's player preference there. I wanted to stick for more of the dragon lineup, because unless you're going to use the Manju for the ritual play of your Paladin of Dark Dragon, using your Dark Dragon ritual, that would be the main setup you go for with that card. But still, Noctovision provides a lot more to the actual engine for the Red Eyes deck. And that is it for the main deck monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. For the rituals, I'm running 2 Red Eyes Transmigration and 1 Dark Dragon Ritual. With Red Eyes Transmigration, this card used to ritual summon Lord of Red. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field, and or banish Red Eyes monsters from your graveyard, except for Red Eyes Black Chick, whose total levels equal 8 or more. So the Red Eyes monsters take up a good majority of the deck for the banish, having all of these options available to you, along with the original Red Eyes Black Dragon for summoning out your Lord of Red. It has to be 8 or more, so even if you go over level 8, you can still special summon this card quite easily and not have to use up your field or hand resources to ritual summon it. You can just have these 2 cards in your hand late game, and that can be the play to summon out that monster. And Dark Dragon Ritual is used to summon out Paladin of Dark Dragon. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal 4 or more. And during your main phases, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to add 1 Red Eyes spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So having Dark Dragon Ritual as another search option for Red Eyes Fusion just adds on top to the fact that the ritual plays do complement the other summoning methods for Red Eyes Black Dragon as well. For those other spell cards that we run, I still run the 3 Red Eyes Fusion with your Slash Dragon and your Dragoon. You have plenty of targets for the fusion summons for your Red Eyes Fusion. You'll have the 2 Gearfried and the Dark Magician, so you could potentially make use of all 3 of these spells during one game, and just being able to be searched out thanks to Dark Dragon Ritual makes it all the easier of a search if you do the ritual play first for this card. It does limit you for your summoning, so when you do summon, you cannot normal or special summon the turn you activate this, aside from Red Eyes Fusion, but still the following turn you could have your setup thanks to the cards you sent to the graveyard, including your Red Eyes Black Dragon and any other additional monsters. I also run 3 Red Eyes Insight for additional search. You send 1 Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard to add 1 Red Eyes spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Now, I do like running Insight. The one problem, obviously, is the fact that Dark Dragon Ritual and Red Eyes Transmigration, you have the search power for Red Eyes Transmigration off of Red Eyes Insight, just not Dark Dragon Ritual, which is funny because I would say that Paladin of Dark Dragon is more of a Red Eyes support card. It just doesn't have the name of it in the spell card, and Lord of Red doesn't really have much in relation to the actual Red Eyes plays, just being, Red Eyes armor on the warrior. And with it, you still have the search, at least, for the big spell card to use for the banish, thanks to Red Eyes Insight being able to search out this card. And being a ritual deck, I am running 3 pre-preparation of rites. I didn't run the original preparation of rites because it can't search out the Lord of Red being a level 8 monster, but since the names of the rituals and the names of the monsters are on the spells, you can search out both with 1 copy of this card. So if you go late game for the top deck of your pre-preparation of rites and you add a Lord of Red and the Red Eyes Transmigration to your hand, and you have plenty of Red Eyes monsters in your graveyard, you can just have these 2 cards in your hand, and that can be the play needed for you to summon out this card just by banishing the other Red Eyes monsters from your graveyard thanks to it. I also run the 2 cards of the Red Stone, more draw power in graveyard setup by sending a level 7 Red Eyes monster from your hand to the graveyard to draw 2 cards, and then you can send 1 level 7 Red Eyes monster from your deck to the graveyard. So this is your setup again, having an additional Red Eyes monster sent from your hand for the draw, and then just 1 additional one from your deck. And then for some of the 1-ofs for the spells, I run 1 Dragon Shrine and 1 Monster Reborn. I've repeated myself plenty of times with the graveyard setup being very important for Red Eyes Transmigration, and these 2 cards just help additionally for it, especially the normal summon send off of Dragon Shrine. And moving on now to the traps, I run 2 Red Eye Spirit for special summon power for your Red Eyes in the graveyard, and 1 Return of the Red Eyes, both having Red Eyes in their name. They can also be searched off of Dark Dragon Ritual if you wished, just as another card to search the following turn, thanks to this card's banished power, and just more special summoning of your different Red Eyes monsters in the deck, because we do have a ritual focus with the deck, but you still can have the power to use some other plays in the deck also. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run 2 Red Eyes / Dragon. The equip power of this card and just needing a warrior monster fills the spot for your Red Eyes Black Dragon and your Gearfried monster to summon out this card. The 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Like I said, it's more of a pricey card, but we will be getting a reprint, hopefully making it more readily available for people in the next Mega Tin. And for the Xyz monsters, I run 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon for the burn power it can have against your opponent, and just another one of my favorites to make use of with Noctovision Dragon, being able to overlay this card, and Red Eyes Black Dragon to make this Xyz monster. I also run 1 number 11 Big Eye, 1 Mecha Phantom Beast, Dracosac, and 1 Harmonizer Cradiel, and 1 Thunder Charger for the piercing damage. These rank 7s do pop up a lot, that's why I like to run them in the deck. And for the Link monsters, I run 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and the 1 Apollosa to have more of the generic Link options in the deck as well. I thought of running the Dark Charmer. If you wanted to run that card, you could always take out either the Cross Sheep or the Underclock Taker for those spots. As for some of the go-to plays, if you wanted to lower the number of Lord of Red you run down, you can drop both of these numbers and add in 1 copy of Dark Dragon Ritual and 1 of the Paladin of Dark Dragon to go for more of a level 4 playstyle. May work a little better for that setup. I'm just a big fan of Lord of Red in general for the deck, for the summons, but the setup can all come down to just what you open up as well. Using your Red Eyes Insight to search a card from your deck to your hand, you can send the Red Eyes monster from your deck to the graveyard, being Red Eyes Black Dragon, then adding the Red Eyes Spell or Trap, which once again you have Red Eyes Transmigration added to your hand thanks to this card. And with that, you have 2 cards set up in your graveyard for you to use. You can then activate your pre-preparation of rites, adding Lord of Red and 1 additional Red Eyes Transmigration to your hand. Setting up that play gives you no monsters additionally in your graveyard to use, but it'll come down to what you may want to use for the additional play that turn. If you have the 1 level 1 Red Eyes monster in your hand, you can then at least activate Red Eyes Transmigration, banishing the 1 Red Eyes you sent off of Insight, and the also additional play for your other card being the Black Metal Dragon sent to the graveyard for the ritual play. And with that then, being able to summon out your Lord of Red, summoning it onto the field for that play. You can even go for the Black Metal Dragon on the field and then use it for the ritual play, because then you'll get the additional search off of the Black Metal Dragon on the field, thanks to it being sent to the graveyard. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. I've always wanted to build a ritual-focused Red Eyes deck. I've done so many Red Eyes deck profiles on the channel, and I just never got around to making one for this, and I'm glad I finally did. I hope you all enjoy looking into building it as well. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.